I got involved in the pension business in the late 1980s when I became Executive Director of the Union of BC Municipalities. We hosted a ad hoc committee of employers and employees that provided some advice to the then superannuation commissioner.
There were a variety of players in putting the joint trust agreements together. Obviously, the unions representing the plan members wanted more of a say in how their pension plans were run. We had good pension plans in British Columbia before that, but the role of members in those plans and the role of unions representing them was almost invisible.
I know joint trusteeship was something that I didn't always understand when it first came out 20 years ago. I was not on the board, and as a member of the plan, it didn't mean much to me. But since joining the board, I came to realize how valuable the joint trusteeship was. It really allowed the members to have a voice and a say in their plan.
Well, I actually got involved in pensions in 1994 when I was asked to join the Teacher Pension Plan Advisory Committee and the Superannuation Commission at that time. And so I got an opportunity to see how you could work government and representative unions on understanding and making improvements to the plans. I remember very clearly that the legislation to create the joint trusteeship and create BC Pension Corp and BCIMC was scheduled for the last day of the legislative session. And it was the last item passed. And we were so worried that it wouldn't go through in time. So it was pretty exciting when it got passed.
The plan members of BC's public plans got what they were seeking back in the late 90s. They got some responsibility for what goes on in their plans. They also got responsibility for dealing with the bad things that can happen to public sector plans. And when I look back on the last 20 years, I think we in BC have a lot to be proud of in how those plans have dealt with both good news, surpluses that enabled people to reduce contributions or improve benefits, and bad circumstances. 2008 comes to mind, when plans had to figure out how they needed to trim and adjust benefits and maybe even increase contributions.
Well, I joined the board in June of 2009, and it was an interesting time because that was shortly after the 2008 financial crisis. Actually, the good part about coming in during a stressful time like that is you really get to see the strength of the board. It became clear that the focus of this board was the long-term benefit of the plan. We didn't get overexcited about short-term issues, ups and downs in the market. We really looked at where the future was and how to protect the plan for the long term.
Well, I think what we've seen is that there's been many challenges along the way, up and down, but because the boards have worked so well together, the trustees have good knowledge of the work that they're doing, they respect each other, and they work together and support each other when the times are poor, and the communication that we have with the partners to have mutual trust and respect there as well has made us better equipped to deal with the ups and downs.
So 16 years after I left government, I ended up on the board of one of these plans as a trustee on the college pension plan. Didn't expect to end up there, but I did. And one of the things I was so pleased at was seeing that the vision that we had in putting joint trustee plans together in the late 90s had come to fruition and was working well. People were having their voices heard. We had a very competent pension corporation administering it. It had by and large worked out as those of us who helped put them together had hoped.
It is a model that I think BC should be really proud of, and as a pension plan, we should be really proud of it because it is the envy of other plans in Canada and internationally. We're able to have decisions made jointly, the risks are shared jointly, and the plan has been much stronger because of it.
In the bigger picture, I think we all in this room have something to be proud of and that is the creation of our own Made in BC pension ecosystem. Composed, of course, of the 4 plans, but equally important are the investment and the administration side. So I think we've done something that's very unique and very much suits our BC situation.
Happy 20th anniversary to the Joint Trusteeship. I'm glad this governance structure exists for current and future members.